If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, can you succeed as a product manager as an introvert? Answer by Jeffrey Anderson. Yes. It isn't easy, but it can be done. I am a classic introvert. Group interactions and dynamics are very tiring for me, and traditional networking is awful, but I am by many measures successful at it. I work really hard at the person-to-person interaction. I am conscious that I have to put on a face and deal with it. It is part of the job. However, there are some parts of being a product manager where it is a benefit. Customer visits, voice of the customer, and validation discussions where some silence on my part helps elicit the most valuable responses from the people I meet with. Huge win, and something that extroverts have to work hard to be able to do. They seem to thrive to fill the gaps in the conversation, and to dominate the discussion. In building team dynamics, being an introvert is not as difficult. I build relationships, have idle banter, talk sports if needed, and of course lead/drive discussions around the roadmap, prioritization, managing up and down, and in general being seen as a leader in the organization. It is weird, because I truly believe I am awful at this, being my own worst critic, but feedback from peers, other groups, and even people who rarely interact with me is that I am amazingly good at this. Who'd have thunk it? But it comes at a price. I stress a lot before large presentations, I get the jitters and nerves bad, but as soon as I take the stage, I am fine, and after events with lots of glad handing and ad hoc personal interactions, I am truly wiped out. Like crawl between the covers, and sleep for 16 hours wiped out. My wife is the exact opposite, and she finally has learned how to cope with being married to a capital I introvert. Answer by Ben Alexander. Absolutely. And introverts can succeed as product leaders, too. Step 1 is knowing what aspects of introversion you have, then learning how to meet your needs, and then go succeed. I think certain aspects are an advantage as well. Listening more. Being sensitive to customer needs, empathy, finding and providing structure. To name a few. Find large groups draining? Start with learning about others in one-on-ones. I find this the most effective in influencing and leading as well. Become more comfortable with being in the spotlight with groups of a few people. Keep practicing, and keep working your way up to rooms of 100 or more people. Ask questions and learn more about every person you meet. Assume the best in others and identify them as a potential new friend. This can help lower the introversion wall quickly. Know yourself, your product, your company, and practice how you want to speak with the spotlight on you. If you are better at writing, write it first, then start talking next. Attending a great show and talking to strangers over many days? Plan for pockets of downtime to help recover energy. Make sure your spouse or family knows that you will be wiped the first night back home. Signed, an introvert who learned how to bring out some extroversion. Oh, and also shy. Some of the above can help with dealing with shyness. In the end, one thing I have not been able to control much of being introverted is the energy level. I will be drained after attending social gatherings, such as parties, industry conferences, user conferences, speaking in front of many people, etc. Answer by Rich Mironov. I see successful product managers adopting a variety of styles depending on the situation and group, rather than sticking with only one interaction style. Which means that introverts will sometimes need to step out of their comfort zone, just as extroverts will need to. It's entirely authentic to understand your current work/group setting and find a communication model that gets the right things done. CF, Myers-Briggs or any similar framework. Every seasoned product manager should put her/himself through a few sessions. For instance, it may be as hard for extroverts to allow room for quiet discussion as it is for introverts to grab the microphone and shout. But being stuck at either end is limiting. Introverts may re-energize after some loud/extroverted time by sitting, thinking, reading, or just being by themselves. Likewise, extroverts may need to go out drinking with the sales team after keeping themselves in check during a long day with engineers. We gotta figure out what works and keeps up authentic and productive. Introverts may find large group presentations difficult, even terrifying. I did. But after 20 or 30 or 40 presentations, it's easier to fake enthusiasm. And after 100, it becomes natural. I'm not an extrovert, but I sometimes play one on TV.